Aditya had been a cab driver for 5 years. But nothing could have prepared him for what happened that night. It was past midnight when he received a booking from an isolated spot on the outskirts of Bangalore. The GPS led him to an old, crumbling house. Its windows shattered, vines creeping up the walls. The rain poured heavily, and distant thunder rumbled. As he stopped, a woman in a white sari appeared under the flickering streetlight. Her long, damp hair covered most of her face. Without a word, she opened the back door and got in. "Where to, madam?" Aditya asked, his voice slightly uneasy. A pause. Then, in a soft, almost whisper-like voice, she replied, "Shivani Park, the main road." Aditya started driving. The road was eerily empty. Every few minutes, he glanced at the rearview mirror. But something felt off. Her reflection seemed delayed, as if her movements weren't in sync with reality. Trying to shake off the uneasiness, he attempted small talk. "Late night, huh? Must be a long way from home." Silence. Then, suddenly, in a low voice, she murmured, "I was waiting for a cab 10 years ago." Aditya's grip tightened on the steering wheel. "What do you mean?" he asked, forcing a nervous chuckle. No response. The road stretched endlessly. The meter still showed the same distance traveled, even after 15 minutes of driving. His heart pounded. Was he trapped in some loop? Finally, they reached the drop-off point. Aditya sighed in relief and turned around. The seat was empty. A sudden knock on his window made him jump. A policeman stood outside, flashlight beaming into the car. "You okay, driver?" Aditya stammered. "A woman, she was right here. I just dropped her off." The officer exhaled sharply. "You are not the first one." Aditya stared, confused. 10 years ago, a woman was murdered while waiting for a cab. Right where you picked her up. No one ever found the killer. Since then, many drivers have claimed to pick up a woman from that same spot. She always vanishes before reaching her destination. A chill ran down Aditya's spine. Trembling, he turned back to look at the back seat. This time, there was something there. A faint outline of wet footprints leading out of the car. The street light flickered, and in its dim glow, just for a second, he saw her standing in the rain watching him.